Hey guys, it's PM Mathis, your global indie author distributor, and I hope that you're having a good Sunday afternoon. Okay, so let me just jump. Sometimes I go a little bit longer than I need to, right? So let me start keep housekeeping. I go live on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Of course, that's why I'm here now. I also want to remind you that I am on YouTube. Now, I know you're seeing me here live on YouTube, but check out my page. I'm under Pamela PM Mathis, Pamela Michelle Mathis. I'm sorry. Also, I'm gonna do my announcements in the front, right? Remember, I am on social media, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, right? I am the author of three books. The first one it is You Are God's Love Story. The second one is Daddy, You Can Hold My Hand. The third one is Ordinary Princess. I have three ebooks that I'm so excited to tell you about. They are on Kindle Amazon Kindle. The first one is Tolerance No Thanks, the Toxic Person, Place, or Situation. The second one is 10 Considerations for Staying Focused, Doing Less with Getting More. And I have a children's book now that is on Amazon Kindle, and it's called The Day It Was All About My Feelings. So, hey guys, check those out. And like I said, those are on Amazon Kindle. My books can be purchased on Amazon, Lulu, Barnes and Noble, and Books a Million, right? Okay. So I also want to remind you that I do essential oil classes. My first one will be this coming Friday at 8 p.m. Join your girl. You're going to be happy you did. Okay. So today I'm talking about love. Sorry, I just keep hitting this little desk here. Love is not, right? So I'm going to tell you who I am and why I do what I do. We have all lived through life where we have not always been told, the truth. We live in a time of you're thinking that you can trust somebody's word, but that's not always true. And so it's all about what do you do with that, right? It's all about how do you react? How do you keep moving on when you feel um, dishonored because people has chosen to bring you in on stuff that you didn't even ask to be a part of, right? People just sometimes just will come up to you and just tell you a whole big story. I don't know if they're just trying to practice their um, storytelling skills or what, but they just come up to you and just decide to spew all of this stuff on you and in your life and expect you to be responsible for it. Well, with me, I go into this analyzing mode. I'm like, okay, so let me try to figure out what's going on. Why did that happen? Why did they say that? What am I supposed to do with the information that was dumped on me? Should I be processing it? Should I be walking through it? Should I let it go? I just get all discombobulated at times, and I'm like, I don't know what I need to do with that, right? But I'm learning how to decide to let things go. I'm deciding how to not get so bogged down with other people's stuff, not even my own stuff, because you know what? It really doesn't amount to the whole big picture. It is those things that we step into a place when we realize what is necessary for the journey, what is necessary um, to keep picking up, to keep analyzing, to keep going over, to staying focused to get to that next level? Or do we just say, you know what, it's just not necessary? It's not time for that portion, on this leg of the journey. So let me just lay it down, keep it here. Like you've heard me say before, there's just certain things you just need to keep in the background and just, they're not ready to be hatched yet. They're not ready to deal with that piece. But at some point, it's going to be necessary and important, right? So, what I want you to take away from this live today, because we understand that love is not all about us. Love is not all about getting everything you want. in the way that you desire to have it from the people that you think you should get it from. It just don't always play out that way, right? And sometimes you got to give a lot more than you're ever going to get, but that's okay because here's the big picture. This life, these situations that we find ourselves in, some of them we cause, some of them, we decide we want to jump in and be a part of, others that are just kind of thrown on us and we just kind of got to deal with it. It grows you, it makes you a better person, it helps you realize, you know honestly, what you need to work on. I'm trying to tell you, I think my people skills need to be upgraded. I mean, when I say that, it's because I can be I can be in a room but so distant. I can be all about a project and not be totally committed. I know that all that sounds weird, but you have to be able to look at yourself and see what pieces you need to pick up, run with, work through so you can be a better version at the end of this game of a life while taking somebody else with you. I know that says a lot, but that's the truth, right? So, the first point, stay open to loving others and receiving it. You can't always put yourself out there giving, giving, giving. Well, I don't need anything. I'm good. Because that's been, how I've lived my life. I just kind of, you know, spent a whole big portion of life not expecting, just living, existing, being unhappy, and then wondering why it's, you know, at this stage of life, I'm still stuck. Well, because I refused to allow my heart to stay open. Now, don't get me wrong, you run through the process, you hit those landmarks, you do the married thing. I mean, and in those moments you think that, hey, I'm good and I'm all about this. But then when you have to step back from it and analyze it, you're like, ooh, I just kind of spent a whole bunch of time spinning my wheels. And I don't know what I picked up. I don't know what I looked at to run with. I don't know why I even did that, right? But what I want to help you understand, let's stop spinning wheels. Let's get focused. Let's be hopeful. Let's be expecting. Now, I want to say be expecting because you're praying, you're seeking, you're asking God, what is for you? How do I relate this thing, that thing to where I am? Should I be considering this, that, or the other? Now, I can't, I'm talking in generals. Why? Because we are all at different places. We are all have a different purpose that has been given to us. We all have a plan to attack that thing, but we understand under the ultimate goal, we are supposed to be bringing people to Christ for those of us that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose, right? We know that the pieces of the broken heart, the loss, the misunderstandings that we have to forgive and we can't hold on to. Those are all a part of growth. That's a part of this whole big love scheme thing, right? And by staying open, even in those moments and times and pieces where you close down, that that heart has to be open because that is the only way that you can get to helping somebody, forgiving somebody, and getting to the next level. Because without forgiveness, well, you don't have it. If you're not willing to give it, those things that you can't give to yourself, because you know what? Everything starts here. The heart has to be considerate of itself. I have to love myself because there is no way that I can love anybody else better than I love myself. That even sounds crazy, right? Okay. So, point number two, address those things that where you expected and it was not given to you. What are you expecting? Life to give you, people to give you. You know, are you living your life always like this, right? And never like this? That just means, are you always trying to get rather than give? Are you leave a deposit? And I mean, don't leave junk, don't leave crap. Don't just, be spewing all your nastiness, all your insecurities, all your, hate for different situations, all of what is not going right in the world. Now, we understand that there's a lot going on, and there's a lot we need to make ourselves aware of, understanding where we are, as a country, as a nation, and all of that. I don't get into politics because that's not my thing, but we do need to stay open. Like they say, you do need to stay awake. There are certain things that you need to be paying attention to. Don't expect that somebody's always going to be there to take care of you. You have to be focused and goal driven to get your life done, period. Right? You do have supporters. We do want people to come on board with us. That ultimate initial out the gate run, that's going to be on you. Okay. Point number three, only accept the truth of what someone gives, not what you hoped and did not receive. Look at what people are saying to you. Watch people's actions. That is a true indicator of who they are and what they're trying to get from you, or their main purpose. I'm not saying it's always harmful. I'm not saying it's always something that you need to run away from. But what somebody tells you, believe them, trust it, honor that. And if it's necessary for this leg of the journey for you, bring them along. But if it's not, be wise enough, be woke enough to say, you know what? Okay, I don't have time for that. I'm gonna have to throw that down. Maybe I can pick up this relationship or this thing a little bit later, but for right now, I've got to stay focused. I've got to get done this purpose, this plan, this big picture for myself. And then I can bring you along, right? Because sometimes we just refuse to let certain things, fall to the wayside because we don't want to leave anybody behind. But in order to have a life that God foresaw for you, you have to be able to lay certain things down, right? So remember the takeaway from this slide. Point number one, stay open to loving others and receiving it. Point number two, address those things where your expectations were not given. And where do you go from there, right? Point number three, only accept the truth of what someone gives you, not what you hoped that you should have received, right? So I want to close out with this prayer, which I told you is coming from Romans 15 from the Message Bible, because I absolutely love the Message Bible. And it simply reads, pray for me, pray strenuously with and for me to God the Father through the power of the Master Jesus, through the love of the Spirit, that I will be delivered from the lion's den of unbelievers. Pray also that my relief offering to Christians will be accepted in the spirit in which it is given. God's peace be with all of you. Those things that we are putting out, we want people to receive, and we want it to be a benefit to their lives. So we always want to be humble. We always want to speak our truth. We always want to be transparent in who we are, what our stories are, what our expectations have been and are, and walk the truth that has been given to us. That's all we can do. And then love accordingly, honor accordingly, ask for what is necessary on your leg of the journey, and what is given. You look at it, you analyze it, you decide if it's for you right now or if it's something you have to lay down, and you keep moving. So, hey guys, I want to tell you I love you. I hope that you have a great rest of your um, Sunday, great rest of your weekend, and that I want you to always what? To always be blessed. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.